And we are back with Battle of the Americas number 62. Mate, it is good to be back. Oh my god. It feels like it's been so long. The weekends have just been so busy with ANZ champs, but we have returned with our weekly scheduled Battle of the Americas. And it's good to be back and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE. Speaking of returning to Battle of the Americas, it's been a long time, a very long time since we have casted this player. He is the American Teamless Protoss, basically the trigger of last year of 2020. We have PattyMac. And I've got a lot to say about him, especially when it comes to the newer viewers who just haven't heard of him before. But spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Peruvian Terran, one of the two Terran brothers. He is purple, representing Storm Gaming. It is Tavo. That was a loud trumpet. that was loud. Oh boy. But yes, good morning everyone. It is a lovely 9 a.m. here in the land of the Australias. The sun is rising. Thank you so much, Quirky, for the raid earlier. Shout out to Quirky. I believe his sleep schedule is absolutely ruined. It's awful. It's disgusting. Speaking of, also exclamation mark Funara Dastan in the chat. Dastan is here as well. Oh god, it's great to see everyone. ARJ Skater for sure. And we'll see how this series turns out. Okay. So we're going to talk about the players. We're going to talk about him. Obviously, Tavo, he is the rising star of 2021. He, alongside Neo, have really kind of risen through the ranks when it comes to the Latin American scene. He is now one of the best Terran players in Latin America. But PattyMac is a different story. So I mentioned Trigger. Trigger is the rising star this year. He's the young blood. He's 18 years old. He recently, in the last season of DreamHack, made it to the playoffs, right? He fell to Scarlet and he fell to Nina, but he had a very strong showing in the group stage, well, first qualifying for DreamHack, and then in the group stage of DreamHack. Again, Trigger, he's one of these players who really rose to prominence in these weekly tournaments, and then it all kind of came to fruition in DreamHack. When it comes to this player here, same can be said, but last year, PattyMac, he was playing in every single Battle of the Americas last year. He was getting better and better as the year progressed. He got 6k on NA. There was a point where it was like him and Sham in the finals every week, or every other week, I should say. And it was so devastating because we saw how good PattyMac was, and then I believe the first season of DreamHack Summer, he like went on a fishing trip and he missed out on the qualifiers. A similar thing happened in DreamHack Fall, and then in DreamHack Winter he finally came out. He finally showed up for a qualifier. He qualified for the main event, made it through the closed qualifiers, made it to the group stage. He didn't have the best time in the group stage, but he had a really good showing. He beat TLO in the group stage as well, didn't make it to the playoffs, but again, he kind of made a name for himself a little bit. And then he kind of disappeared, you know, like, we just haven't really seen much of him this year. He did play in DreamHack earlier, a couple of months ago, and he did make it to the closed qualifiers, but he actually got knocked out by Pure Legacy, if I don't recall. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So yeah, he just hasn't had as much time to devote to the game, but now he is back. He's ready to compete, to win this entire tournament. I don't know if I want to say he's the favorite. It depends on what form he's in, because I know how good he can be, but how good is he right now? That's kind of the question. Oh. So we got the new versus the old, in a way. Like, again, PattyMac, he's like 19. He finished up high school last year, so he's still a very young player. Likewise, Tavo is also quite young here, just polar opposite, right? Tavo, he's representing Latin America, PattyMac representing the North, and so far, Tavo has opened up pretty safe. You know, we did have a CC, but it's here on the low ground. He's taking his time to expand, to finally take his natural. Meanwhile, PattyMac, he's fully saturated on two bases. Like, PattyMac is getting away with so much. He's even getting a third, people, and Tavo's still struggling to take his natural. Like, oh my god, his base has just been so delayed. Meanwhile, almost lose the Phoenix. Nice micro there by PattyMac. He does save his Phoenix at the last moment, lifting up that Cyclone, and oh god. because of the openers, like Tavo is just so far behind in the economy. He does have, you know, already tank production. He has a couple of cyclones as well. He has a decent amount of anti-air, a Viking on top of that, plenty of marines. I'm very curious to see how Tavo plays out this series, plays out this matchup, because we don't see him in PvTs too often. I saw Fernando in the chat earlier. Shout out to Fernando. Okay. There's a lot happening. Shout out to Fernando in the chat. He's a massive PattyMac fan. Unfortunately, today there is no PattyMac. When it comes to Protoss representation, it's all about North America. There's PattyMac. Ryan is in the bracket as well. Zions is also in the bracket representing Peru. I have to speak about Zions as well. Like, exclamation mark B in the chat if you want to have a look at the bracket. It's pretty stacked. Pure Legacy showed up, and again, Pure Legacy hasn't competed in a long time either. He's a very strong player in North America. Meanwhile, these Phoenixes are diving in and getting a lot of damage. A couple of SCVs to get picked off. The production is interrupted. They haven't gotten too much, but something that I showed off earlier, Tavo going for a ninja base. I love it because he is behind economically. He does need a way to catch up, and going for a ninja base like this, I mean, you very rarely see it. In competitive play, we almost never see ninja bases, so this could work if he's able to get away with it. I approve, mate. I approve. Let's go. Personally, like, when it comes to my personal bias, I'm torn. It's really rough that both these players have to face off in the first round, but there are just so many good players today. Neo has returned as well. After when I talk about Tavo, I gotta talk about Neo as well, the CranKy Duckling, the turtle duck himself. Neo did finally finish up his exams. His birthday was a couple of days ago, so if you're not following us on social media, mate, happy birthday to Neo. He isn't hungover, I can confirm. He delayed kind of his celebration a little bit. He celebrated with his family first. He's getting ready to go out for some chelas in a couple of days, so he's sober. It's okay. Oh god. So yeah, honestly, it's gonna be a wild night. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be crazy. The Zerg Lord is here. Yan G as well. There's some big names that aren't there that we usually see, like your Trigger, your Eric, your PattyMac. But again, there's still plenty of other players who have stepped up, who have replaced them tonight, and it's gonna be beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, now the third base is fully saturated. PattyMac, mate, he's already got his gateway army. Storm is on the way. Blink as well. He's really rounding out his army. And so far, he has not seen the top right-hand base. He still doesn't know about the third. To be fair, the third still doesn't have a lot going for it. There's a couple of mules, I guess, but it's not amazing economically. You know, it would be great to see a Maynard, but it's so risky to try and Maynard some workers to the top right-hand side of the base. Right-hand side of the map, I should say. Maynard is the term not often used, but it does mean, you know, like just sending your workers to saturate a base elsewhere. No, he gets spotted. It gets spotted. Oh god, it lasted a full 2 minutes being unscouted, but finally it has been spotted. All the mules, all the SCVs get taken out. Unfortunately, Tavo wasn't really in position to protect it, but now he knows where the Phoenixes were, where the army was. PattyMac's attention should be on the top right-hand side of the map. Makes sense. He's sending adepts there. At the same time, Tavo is pushing out. I think his army just got spotted. There was a spotter unit here. I mean, there's an observer anyway. So PattyMac knows. So he's going to try and harass and defend at the same time. We see a scan. Storm is done. Oh my god. Tavo, please. Here we go. Charge Lord Storm coming in here from PattyMac. We have a couple of Wintermines. They're going to get their shots off. Beautifully done there on the Zealous. But here come the Phoenixes picking up the tanks. None of the tanks get any of their shots off. And here come the Storms. Oh my god. Storms blanket the entire army. And there's just too much Protoss here. The tanks are going to go down. There's just not enough bio. At the same time, the Adepts take down the third base. The base is still there, but there's no mining. There's no economy. We do have a couple of reinforcements coming in, and Tavo is able to push away PattyMac, but he lost so much there. Taking a look at the units lost. 4 tanks went down. The Cyclones, the Vikings, the Medevac hero there. But, oh boy, that was a rough fight. Ooh, what I will say is that a lot of the gateway buffer got taken out. All the High Templar got morphed into Archons. There's not a lot of Storm left. There is one available here. Maybe Tavo can make something happen, but Archons are pretty beefy units as well. Like, they do have their place here in this army, and now Tavo's stuck on 2 bases, mate. He's floating over his third, literally flying across the map to land on location. Oh boy. Alright, here we go. PattyMac is finally across the map. He still only has 1 High Templar, so not that many Storms, to be honest. Like, he has 1 available to him. He's gonna need more than that. He's pushing on forward, takes out 1 Liberator. Storm does land. SimCity is not there because the CC hasn't landed. Ooh, and a couple of Widowmines waddle into their death. There's too much Protoss here. There's no tanks. There's only Bio, and Bio is not enough for Tavito. At the same time, it looks like there was a Widowmine drop. Yeah, there was a Widowmine drop. Oh my god, even forces a recall, but there's not enough to stop the main army. GG gets called, and PattyMac takes game 1. Damn. So PattyMac, even though he hasn't been anywhere near as active this year, he's showing off that he's still got it. And even though I keep saying that he hasn't been that active, he hasn't been active when it comes to tournament play. When it comes to ladder, he's still up there. He's still 6K. He's still top 16 on the NA ladder. He's a very, very strong ladder player. And now he's making his return to tournament play. Not just Battle of the Americas, but he's also going to be in the qualifiers for DreamHack. I can't wait to see how well this player will perform. And mate, there's no time to waste. We finish up with game 1 and we are diving straight into game number 2. Alright, let's catch up on the chat. But yeah, shout out to Dastan. He does work a lot nowadays. You know, he does have a, I believe he has a full-time job, so much love to Dastan. He still streams whenever he can. He still plays StarCraft whenever he can. Obviously, he's not competing anymore, but maybe one day, maybe we'll see him compete again. Or, more likely, maybe we'll see him cast again. Maybe he'll come on and we'll cast together. We've done that a couple of times, and it's always a lot of fun. But we'll see. Meanwhile, we are diving into game number 2, and oh my god, I was not. But there we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres LE, we have the American Protoss representing himself. Oh, he's so lonely. Feels bad, man. As well as classic, it is PattyMac. And spawning in the top right hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres LE, we have the Peruvian Terran. He is purple, representing Storm Gaming. It is Tavo. El Tavito himself. Oh boy, a bit of a rough game 1, not gonna lie. He had some cheeky moves with the ninja base, but them cheeky moves were not enough, mate. Especially when your opponent opens up with Phoenixes, right? Like, when you have Phoenixes, you have so much map control, you have so much vision. Per chance, he just happened to stumble upon the ninja base, and that was kind of expected, to be honest, from the side of PattyMac. It was just really unfortunate that it was found out there for Tavo in the end. Ay. Meanwhile, hello Soundo in the chats. It's great to see some more Aussies waking up in the morning on a Sunday. I hope it's not too early. I hope you're enjoying your day. Oh! Ooh, and the first win here for Tavo, taking out the probe. It does cost him a little bit of extra mining time because Tavo had to pull a couple extra boys, but mate, killing the probe, it's pretty good. What I will say is that PattyMac did get scouting information, right? We take a look at his vision. He did see the factory being thrown down, so he knows that the CC was delayed. How delayed is it going to be, though? That is the question. CC does finally get thrown down, but PattyMac, he's in the dark, and he needs to figure out what the hell is going on as he is sending a probe out on the map. is scouting the edges. Again, makes sense. He wants to make sure there is no proxy starport. That's very common in this matchup. We see it time and time again. So he wants to make sure he is safe and secure. The starport does get thrown down in the main base of Tavo. No proxy at all, but PattyMac isn't sure of that, so he just wants to double check. Meanwhile, Hellion and Reapers are coming across the map. Even if there is a wall, the Reapers can knock units out of said wall, and then the Hellion can dive on into that natural base. So we'll see how things go here. I don't believe this is a full wall. I think there's a gap over on the right side. Yeah, there is. Ooh, but he doesn't go in. There are 2 Stalkers at the natural, ready and waiting. So Tavo doesn't take a chance. And oh, interesting. PattyMac even thinking about fully walling off. Okay. Thought better of it in the end, but it was on his mind. And we'll see how this game progresses here, as we have plenty of Widowmines coming out. We are going to be seeing a Widowmine drop from the side of Tavo. He's going to be sending it across the map. There's no massive dedication to Widowmines, like we don't have an armory, so we don't need detection to deal with them or anything like that. And it isn't a fully dedicated Widowmine drop in the sense of we don't have more than 2, you know? There's only 2 in the medevac, there's no 3 or 4, and it does actually avoid the Stalkers. The Stalkers do catch the Hellions and the Reapers. Only the Hellion falls, but more importantly, Tavo, he sees the army positioning of PattyMac, and the medevac is able to avoid those Stalkers. What's scary though is that there are Stalkers. There are Stalkers across the map. What is it to defend? There's a bunker, only 1. We have a sentry to force field to deny repairs as well. Meanwhile, medevac dives in, but PattyMac has eyes on it. He pulls the boys away, doesn't affect him at all. At the same time, he does push him forward. There is the force field. We have no repairs. Bunker falls, and now the Stalkers are going ham onto the army of Tavo. Tavo is forced to pull the boys. The bunker's almost done. The tank comes out. Man, you gotta siege up. He does pull back into his main base, and he can siege, but he lost all his workers. Oh my god, at the same time, 14 probes went down. Oh my god, the Widowmines, they must have chased down the probes. I thought that everything was safe and sound. There it is. The Widowmine did scuttle all the way to the natural base. It looks like in the end it will go down, but PattyMac sustained a lot of losses. He is still ahead in workers, but not by as much as he should have been. And now the tank comes out, auto turret comes down. Tavo, he defends on 2 bases. And it's okay. Like, sure, he's down in workers, but he has mules to make up for that. Like, he's not in the worst position. We saw that Tavo was far ahead in the economy. Things are more or less evening out at the moment. And what I thought was going to be a killing blow, and PattyMac just taking the W here, like, suddenly we're continuing on. The game progresses, mate. Oh my god. Alright, here we go. So we have a Twilight Council follow-up. Ooh, not just a Twilight Council, a Robotics Bay as well. So PattyMac, he's getting ready for the mid-game. He wants to get into that splash damage. He wants to get into that AoE charge. Alongside it, we should be seeing some Colossus on the way, extended thermal lance. Meanwhile, PattyMac, he still has map control. Stalkers around the map. They're not Blink Stalkers, just regular ones. But maybe we still have a pylon at the 3rd. You know, he's checking to make sure there's no army move out, or if there's a 3rd base on the right-hand side. Observer is coming in as well. So PattyMac is still pretty comfortable in this game. Like, he still has full control. Oh boy. Meanwhile, Observer dips in. He sees all the additional production. He sees the tech labs researching, so he knows that there is no 3rd base follow-up. He knows that it is going to be a very heavily committed 2-base timing with these upgrades, so he needs to prepare. And I was saying he knows all this stuff. He still takes a 3rd. Oh boy. I mean, the Observer can dip back in, and again, he doesn't know if 2 additional Raxes were thrown down or a 3rd base was thrown down. This is information that PattyMac needs. He needs to confirm whether or not there's an all-in. Oh, we can see, mate, 2-base all-in, or 2-base, like, pressure, timing is coming. You know, we even have +1 on the way as well, and it's gonna hit hard, and if PattyMac isn't ready for it, we could be seeing a Game 3. But we shall see. Like, the big thing that I'm looking for PattyMac, mate, shield batteries are pretty good units. Mate, get 1, 2, 3 shield batteries, overcharge on top of that, and you're going to be looking fine at this third base, or natural base, depending on where the fight happens. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. At the moment, PattyMac, I don't think he realizes what's happening. I feel like alarm bells should be ringing, especially because like he's getting more tech. He's getting a Templar Archives. He's gonna be working on Storm and Archons. It's like, mate, you need your army now. You need your defenses now. We have another pylon. There we go. Finally a shield battery. But Tavo, he is getting ready to push out across the map. Upgrades are finishing up. +1 is done. Stim and combat shields are also complete. He's sending it, mate. Let's go. And PattyMac, 1 shield battery? I'll be impressed if he holds on here. To be fair, 1 shield battery is pretty good, right? Mate, you got overcharged. You got the world is your oyster. But I worry that he just doesn't have enough here. There we go. Another shield battery is on the way. Finally, the army gets spotted. PattyMac sees everything. Is it too late? Ugh. High Templar moves forward. Nice feedback on the Raven, to be honest. Mate, that's huge, actually. Now there's no more disables available for Tavo. I thought he was crazy sending out his High Templar, but the High Templar is the MVP. My god. Otherwise Tavo straight up would have disabled both Colossus, and then he would have won the game. That would have been it. It would have been over. Overcharge was baited, but baited long enough for a second shield battery to finish up. Was it worth it? I don't know, mate. We'll see. We have plenty of Widowmines here as well, so even with charge, these Zealots, they're not going to survive much longer. This is still a very scary Terran army. And PattyMac, he is crazy enough to see this, and he throws down 2 forges. He thinks he's going to get upgrades, mate. What is happening? Oh my god. At the same time, now a couple of units are going down here. Oh, the Archon's so exposed. Here we go. PattyMac, he's diving on forward. The Widowmines do get triggered. Every single Zealot goes down. Next go the Stalkers, and now there is only Colossus remaining. This is what I was worried about. Like, PattyMac just didn't have enough to defend. And on top of that, he was getting ready for the late game. He was getting ready for upgrades. It's like, mate, you can't even deal with this army. And here we go. Tavo, he's steaming on forward. Again, there was an opportunity there. There was a moment where there were only Colossus, but he didn't go for it. And my, oh my, PattyMac is pushing him forward. He's trying to take this fight, but he just can't do it. The Colossus, they don't die, but everything else does. And again, it's one of those things where Tavo, you can just keep on pushing him forward. There we go. He drops on top of the army. I don't know if this is the best move. He is fighting without his Liberators and without his tanks, but it is enough anyway. The Colossus do fall. And Tavo, he is going to be tying up this series. He is going to be forcing an ace match because PattyMac didn't respect this army enough. He's taking a 4th base. He's getting ready to lose this 3rd. It's like, mate, that's it. GG gets called. And Tavo takes game 2. We are going to that ace match. Damn. Again, a lot of that was, I think, just PattyMac misreading the situation. I feel like he had a couple of clues here and there, but he never had confirmation that it was a 2-base all-in. He never went back in with his observer to scout and see if there was more production being thrown down. There were Marines and a Raven to stop an observer from scouting as well, so I do want to commend Tavo in that regard as well. He was denying scouting. So yeah, PattyMac was a little bit in the dark, didn't know 100% what was coming his way. He saw it eventually, but by that time, he wasn't ready. And hey, we have our ace match. Oh my god. Which way is this gonna go? I don't know. I'm torn. I love both of these players. I've seen them both compete and grow as players, and I want to see them both move on. ! Funara Darking in the chat for forcing these 2 players to face off in the 1st round. Feels bad, man. But here we are spawning in the top right hand corner of Jagannatha ALE. We have the American Protoss. We're tied up. We're 1-1. One of these players will fall here. The other will advance on to the next round. He is currently teamless. Team earners, look at this player. Pick him up. He's amazing. He's beautiful. He is PattyMac. spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, and also the bottom right, question mark, we have, oh my god, we have the Peruvian Terran. He is purple. He is fighting back in this series. I was worried it may be a 2-0, but it is tied up 1-1. We have representing Storm Gaming, it is Tavo. Going for a very interesting proxy location. Very interesting. It is on the bottom right hand side of the map. Obviously we have a probe scout. PattyMac is gonna see that there is a proxy, but is this really a proxy is what I'm trying to figure out, because obviously it is far away from the Protoss main base, right? Like, this isn't an aggressive proxy. It's like a fake proxy, I imagine, right? Like, we have Marines coming out. There we go. Oh, never mind. I was like, we're gonna see a factory, right? Wrong. We have a Ghost Academy. What is happening? What is happening right now? So PattyMac, he sees both gases have been taken. He's gonna keep this probe here. I think a tell will be that because he has a worker here, he's gonna see, hey, there's no factory, right? There should be one if it was a fake proxy. Because it's not here, like, he knows it's gonna be a little bit more dedicated. So we'll see what his response is gonna be. There we go. Cloak is on the way. Tech Lab is finished as well. We're gonna have some fast ghosts coming out. There is a bunker. Again, another tell. Marine came back home to defend it, and that's gonna like throw a spanner in the works. He sees a Marine. What does that mean? That means that the proxy is close enough to the main base to defend at home, and that may tell PattyMac, like, hey, I should be safe. Like, maybe the proxy was in the natural, maybe it was like a fake proxy, right? Like, I shouldn't have too much to worry about. He is still scouting with his adept, which I love, and looking at the pathing. Oh, I think he'll see the racks. He should see the racks, right? Let's see the adept. The adept shades. Oh no, PattyMac, please, you haven't scouted. Oh god, he misses the bottom right. He was queued up to go there, but he was impatient. He shaded instead. He will see the bunker. That says nothing, and now the adept will move on and keep looking, and he would just, oh my god, he was gonna spot it. He was gonna scout. Ay. Here we go. The adept is gonna come home. PattyMac is in the dark. I worry for him. I mean, thankfully he has plenty of production. Warp gate just finished up. He has 3 gateways up and running. He can warp in defensively at home. He even throws down a shield battery just because he doesn't know what's happening. So he's just trying to play it safe. But he doesn't have detection. Oh, but the observer's on the way. So he could be ready for this. Here come the ghosts though. There we go. They do cloak. The boys are coming in. Or the girls actually. Oh boy, with that Kerrigan skin. I mean Nova skin, I think. Yeah, Nova skin. They come in now. PattyMac knows. Oh no, the skin. Wow, Tavo snipes the observer. There is no more detection here. We have another observer on the way, but workers are starting to fall. Again, Ghosts, they deal a lot of damage here. Nice hold position on the ramp, but this will cost PattyMac a lot of units. The observer's about to pop out. And that's this is disgusting. The ghost can shoot from the high ground. There we go. The ghost will finally be dealt with. But 9 probes went down and an observer. And a sentry. Like, mate, honestly, worth. Was it worth? That's a good question. That was a big investment, right? Cloak, Ghost Academy, proxy, delayed CC. So I wonder where we are in this game. The ghost had potential to maybe end the game, but with 2 bases and chrono boost, PattyMac can catch up when it comes to the worker count. Tavo is still on 1 base. That's the concerning thing. Now he's taking another one. He can Maynard some workers over, but he's not in the greatest position. And we have a War Prism on the way. We have Robotics Bay on the way. We could be seeing some aggressive Colossus across the map. Like, mein Gott. All right, so we'll see how things turn out here. Meanwhile, I just saw I just saw, thank you so much. Dastan did redeem a group. Please, Kuro will be joining the stream here for the next series. I apologize, not fast enough here for the ace match, but we will get her in here as soon as possible. Oh, Observer does get taken out. I'll just message her just to make sure she's aware. Hup, hup. Cool. So we will set that up. Thank you so much again. If you want Kuro to cast, then you can redeem a crew, please. We have a maximum of 3 available per stream, and at a certain point she will go to bed. It is quite late here in the land of Europe, incredibly late, so she is going to be going to bed pretty soon. So redeem crew, please, while you can. Meanwhile, there we go. We have War Prison Speed that's about to finish up. We have a Disruptor drop coming in here for PattyMac. How much damage is it going to do? He has to be careful not to get disabled by this Raven, by the way. Here we go. War Prison comes in. Where's the disable? Up. He doesn't drop. Not yet. It's so risky if you're PattyMac. Do you even want to? Oh, he actually avoids the Raven. The Raven doesn't keep up. Oh no, the Disruptor shot goes off. 4 SCVs go down and a Mule on top of that. Nicely done there by PattyMac. A little bit of misplay there by Tavo. He was chasing it. Again, what I was waiting for is that if the Disruptor got dropped, then the Raven can disable the War Prism. War Prism cannot pick anything up, then the Disruptor goes down. Meanwhile, here comes the push, and PattyMac this time gets eyes on it nice and early. Oh my god. So PattyMac, he knows the army is pushing out across the map. We need some more shield batteries. We need some army. There we go. Massive warp in of Zealots. 6 Zealots do come in clutch. But where are the shield batteries? We need some at the 3rd. We need overcharge. Oh boy, here we go. Tavo, he's sending it across the map. He pulls a couple of boys as well. Not too many. They're just here to help repair. The War Prism goes down. PattyMac, he's falling apart a little bit here. There is a shield battery at the natural base, depending on where the army fights, but we do see a disable on one of the Colossus. We could see a second, and we do. The Colossus, they do nothing, mate, and here comes the Terran army. Overcharge gets used up. It has to be used in this situation. Disable runs out, but the Colossus, they're walking in. Oh no. One of them gets taken down for free, and so will the other. Ay. PattyMac, he fought well. Like, he took down one of the tanks. He took down a lot of the army, to be honest, a surprising amount. Another warping of Zealots comes in. He's trying to get on top of the tanks, but it is not going to be enough here. He does, actually takes down 2 tanks. Oh my god. 0-0 Zealots are pretty good. Wow, PattyMac fought so well there. I thought that he was gone, mate. I thought that it was going to be over, but Tavo doesn't have that much. He has a tank. He pulls back. PattyMac, he survives on 3 bases. +1 is on the way. The rest of the upgrades are on the way. It feels like PattyMac was being greedy and just barely, he held on with the bare minimum. But because he held on with the bare minimum, mate, he's getting away with so much. Oh my god. I didn't even know if that was intentional. A part of me feels like PattyMac's like, oh my god. He's like, I won? I'm alive? Oh, okay, let's go. Ay. Alright, here we go. Meanwhile, Tavo, he's going to work on Plan B, which is worrisome. Plan B isn't take another base and expand. It is double down, throw down more of these production buildings, start stim, start combat shields. This is another reason as to why Tavo couldn't end the game. He didn't have stim. His Marines, they were without any upgrades whatsoever. They were 0-0, didn't even have combat shields. So the Marines, the bio army to protect the tanks, honestly was pretty lackluster. And that really did come into play there. Obviously, intentionally lackluster. Tavo was going for a specific timing before those upgrades to catch PattyMac unawares, but that also meant that the push was a little bit weaker in that respect. And now Tavo throws down the 3rd CC. If he really wanted to expand, he should have thrown this down earlier, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get a 3rd up and running. Very ambitious. Very ambitious play there by Tavo. We'll see. We'll see if he can get it up and running. We'll see if he can get that third base eventually at some point in this game. Oh my god. I need some water. A lot was happening there. A lot was happening. Meanwhile, catching up on the stream. Welcome, Geya, to the stream. Luis, James Baxter as well. James Baxter, the infamous Chileno, who just keeps winning the weekly raffles. It's crazy. He's earned more than some of these pro players have in Battle of the Americas. Mein Gott. Alright, here we go. We have a couple of ways that Tavo can come back here. Third CC is about to finish up. He is going to be looking to land on location. Meanwhile, Tavo, he's going for some harassment across the map with these Banshees. They do have Blink, so there's a lot of potential. But here comes PattyMac with his main army. Nice anti-armor missile, not just on the Zealots, but also on the Archons, and it forces PattyMac back. He wanted to try and push out across the map, but he cannot. He's forced to take his fourth base. At the same time, here comes, oh my god, here come the Banshees, but the Stalkers were ready and waiting. And even though the Banshees had Cloak, mate, we had cannons set up in all of the bases, all three bases, and PattyMac shuts down those Banshees. Ay, ay, ay. Tavo, he was banking a lot on those Banshees. Thankfully, he was able to push PattyMac away with that anti-armor missile, so he is able to establish his third base. Attempt to establish his third base. It's on the way. It's on the way. You know, he still has to get his gases up. He still needs to set up his defensive position. Maybe some bunkers as well to help mess up the AI of those Zealots with that charge. And Tavo, he is set up here with his tanks. He is going for a bit of a drop on the right hand side of the map. I'm a little bit concerned because, oh, here comes a hallucination. Is it going to spot the drop? It will not. So Tavo does move past, does avoid the detection. And can he make something happen here? The Stalkers that were here earlier are gone. The main base is pretty exposed, but of course we do have warping potential. We have a recall if need be. Here we go. It is head towards that main base, is boosting on forward. The main army is at the fourth, and he still has not spotted this. And there we go. We do see some multi-pronged Liberator at the third base. Will be dealt with by the Stalker, but it's getting some decent worker damage. At the same time, we do have another drop here. Hits the fourth, but the main army was ready and waiting. This one here in the main, can it get something done? Does depower the Forge, is getting a couple of worker kills, but it will be surrounded. It will be dealt with. Ooh, but it will just barely will it escape? Oh god. Oh god. Tavo, please! Loses the medevac. Ay, ay, ay. A little bit unfortunate there. He did delay a Forge, which has value. The Liberator did kind of pay for itself. Go to 9 probe kills. Not bad. Not bad at all. But I don't know if it was completely worth it. Like, PattyMac, his economy for the most part is unhindered. He's getting so many Archons with this army. Ay, ay, ay. He's getting ready to push out across the map. He wanted to earlier, but he just couldn't pull it off. What I will say is that Tavo's macro hasn't been skipping a beat either. Like, he has a pretty decently sized army. There's a lot of potential here with the Widowmines. Well, oh my god. Just killed his own Marine. But with the Widowmines, with the Liberators, and the tanks, like, as long as he's sieged up, but oh my god, the Widowmines, they're not set up, they're not ready. Okay, but PattyMac doesn't commit. He does back off. At the same time, we do have a couple of Zealots being morphed into the main base. Oh my god, not just the main, but the natural as well, causing havoc for Tavo. And Tavo, he's committed. He's like, yo, I'm losing everything in the main, but I'm sending it across the map. He's setting up his Liberators, but he was a little bit late. And now the Zealots have gone on top of everything. The Colossus are going ham. Tavo's army is falling apart. And GG gets called. Good luck. PattyMac takes game number 3, takes the series 2-1. Congratulations, PattyMac. Tavo, oh my god, that first push outside the natural, I thought it was over. When he disabled the Colossus, when he had his tanks, I just didn't realize like how weak his Marines were at the time. So my mistake there. He was trying to force the issue. He almost did. I'll give him credit there, but it just barely wasn't enough. PattyMac was able to hold on, get his 4th base up and running, and GG. Congratulations, PattyMac. and he will move on in the bracket to face White Idra.